Hello, and welcome to Totally Schway Flipside, a podcast about whatever the hell I want it to be about. My name's Mary.
And my name is Luke.
And I hope you're having a great day today. How are you today, Luke?
Let
me guess. Let me guess.
Go on then.
Tired?
No.
Sleepy?
No.
Overwork, underpaid?
Yes.
No, all joking aside, how are you today?
I mean, you captured it perfectly. Working too much. It's supposed to be a day off today, but I've still got loads to do, so...
A what?
Yeah, I know.
You can ask me how I am?
No. Because you're going to tell me.
Yeah. I am, I'm alright, I guess. Thinking about July, which I'm super stoked about. I've got some ideas for some videos that I want to put on my channel. Mm-hmm. I haven't left my channel, obviously, but it's been quite a weird start of the year. Personally, not terrible. Politically, next question. But yeah, it's one of those times where you just need to refresh on the mental health and just, do what you got to do. I did the damn thing, and now I'm going to wait it out a couple more weeks, and then I'll put out a video, I think, and all will be well.
Cool.
Yeah. Could I just put a video out about Gilgamesh? Just staring at him sleeping all day? So, should we just get straight into it?
Yes, please do.
So today, we're going to talk about something that I like. Just spoiler alert, I like the damn movie. A Minecraft movie. If I had to do out of 10 stars, 9.9.
Interesting.
Yeah. The 0.01, or the one thing that I didn't like about it was that I missed the end credit.
Oh yes, the scene after
totally
the
not my
credits.
fault.
Well, I don't know whose fault it was.
It was not Luke's fault either.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. There's not much I didn't dislike about the movie. It's got three, the grown-ups in it. Let's talk about that after I talk about if you liked it or not.
It wasn't made for me, and I accept that. I don't think it's bad. It's not something I would ever watch again, I don't think.
Well, but you will, because it's obviously going to play in the house.
Well, yeah, you can watch it, but I'll just do other things. That's fine. And that's completely acceptable. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I wasn't the intended audience. I found it a bit draining, frankly, the energy of Jack Black and Jason Momoa. Or I should say how energy draining they were just watching them. But, I'm sure kids loved it, and people that are into Minecraft would really enjoy it as well.
So we're already going to start talking about the grown-ups. I have to say, whoever did the casting of this movie, brilliant. Because having the three main grown-ups, I'm going to talk about them, because the kids, I got to be honest, I don't know much about them, and I don't like talking about, kids and stuff like that, because I probably haven't seen much of them in there. Mm-hmm. But you have, obviously, Jack Black, who's probably the most well-known person in the movie because of his, I would say from the early 2000s to, now, I don't think his flame has dimmed at all.
No.
I think every generation that comes by Jack Black, you don't lose anything, but they like him for something different, and I love that about him. You have Jason Momoa, which I'm a fan of, just because I like Aquaman, and I also like Jason Momoa as a person because of his ethics and stuff like that. I think it's really great, and sustainability and yada yada yada. And then you have the beautiful, the amazing, tasty from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, of course she was.
I believe her name is Danielle Brooks. Yes. She is probably my favorite person in this movie. I have been a fan of hers since I saw Tasty on Netflix for the first time in Orange is the New Black. She is just so funny, but it's a kind of funny that isn't... It's not something that I think you can learn. Because even when she's in interviews, I've noticed she kind of just... She reads the room. And she's like, yeah, I could adapt to that. And it's so cool. And I was stoked for her to be in this movie. So
was she in Peacemaker as well?
Yes, she was in Peacemaker. Those three were just so great together. As my chair keeps whatever.
I don't think they'll hear it, Mary, because of the
fine.
mic settings. But anyway.
If you guys don't know this, I move around a lot in my chair. So if you ever hear me like bang into Luke's chair or me accidentally running over his foot, mind your business. But the three people, the three, known actors in this are... It's like you've got three different movies going on in a way, and then they all kind of connect together, and it's beautiful. As a fan of Minecraft, since... I don't know how... I guess since it came out over here, right? Since it came out on the console over here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose we bought it on day one, didn't we?
Yeah. I really like it. I like the music. I don't listen to the music as much as I used to, because I don't want to overdo it, because I tend to do that a lot with sound. It's such a lovely game that you can make your own. Like, you can play small games in it. You can play hide and seek. You could just play it by yourself and just make the perfect world that you've always wanted. And it's cute. And something that I like about it is it's wholesome to me, because I don't play online very often, but it's wholesome to me because it's got little chickens and alpaca and llama and, well, llama, I don't know if it has alpaca, but I know it has llamas in it. And the villagers and stuff like that. So I really, really like it. But the movie is a little bit different than what I thought it was going to be. But that in itself made me like it even more. Yeah,
I think they're very clearly, just from the title alone, they're trying to make it clear that this is something separate, because it is a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie, like there was the Super Mario Brothers movie, or I don't know, I can't think of another example off the top of my head. But this is intended to be its own kind of separate thing. And yeah, I think there's an element of the story that a lot of people will relate to, because Jack Black's character Steve is dissatisfied with his adult life, working in a boring office job, wants to have a life of fun and adventure, and he goes into this fantasy world. Well, I say fantasy, what I really mean is fantastical, really, because it does exist.
One of my new favourite words.
Fantastical.
Yeah, I've been saying it quite a bit, haven't I?
I haven't noticed.
I really like Jason Momoa's character in this, because his name's Gargar, or Gargar, I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
But
Garrett.
Yeah. He was this, cool game player, like on the stand-up games.
Yeah, the old arcade games of the 80s. He was a champion at one specific game, and he's been riding that fame.
I can relate to his character, not with any fame or anything, but with being kind of feeling like you're failing at what you're supposed to be doing, like you're failing at life a little bit, and you, as much as you try to keep, the peace in your head, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And unfortunately, with his character, and I think with myself, I just don't want to give up just yet, in terms of wanting that not necessarily perfect life, but one that's successful. And I think a lot of people, like younger people anyway, I hope they take that character the way that I did and say, okay, hey, life's not exactly what I wanted it to be when I was 15, but, there's really great things, and that's the thing, is he went from being this person that didn't want to lose his game shop to this person that actually has like this little family, really.
Well, yeah, I think there is an important lesson there, because he wanted to be by himself in his little game shop, reliving his past glories. And in a way, he does lose his game shop.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the film, because he's able to keep the building, the business is still running, but it changes. It becomes more of a community centre where he welcomes people in. They build their own game, a new game that other people come and play and enjoy, and Jack Black plays musical instruments and they sing together. So that life that he was holding on to is gone, but he's replaced it with something else. He's built a life for himself that he wants to have. And I think that's a very good message, I think. Because a lot of people just put up with their misery.
Yep, I was the beginning, Gareth, really. Because I feel that sometimes it's like too much. Like, I'm trying to give up something, but I don't give up, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Now, okay, he achieves this by... I mean, basically, they take diamonds from the Minecraft world and sell them, I guess. Which is kind of a plot point that they didn't really expand upon very much, because it felt like a little bit of a betrayal. They were supposed to be going to get... I forget what
weapons.
Was it weapons?
I think weapons.
They were supposed to be getting something. But they do a detour so that Garrett can get some diamonds from Steve's, his mine, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that was presented as a betrayal to the younger boy. What was his name? Henry? Yes, I think it was Henry. But they kind of skipped over that, and they just went straight back to everything is fine afterwards.
Yeah, because I think that lesson was learned. And you didn't really need to go... sometimes a movie can be fun, teach you a lesson, and not necessarily drag on. Because if you want to have a movie where you are going to learn a lesson, that's a really great movie, by the way. That's, I would say, geared toward the younger audience.
Absolutely.
Watch Bridge to Terabithia. You will love that if you want some heartbreak in there. But this one, a Minecraft movie, it's what we needed. Not you, but like people that play Minecraft, even if they are in their 30s, we needed something wholesome. We needed something that could make us happy, because this past couple of years, man, it's been something. And after, COVID and obviously the stuff that's happening in politics and all of that, it's nice to actually go to the cinema and leave and feel like you have just had a really good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there are other stories in this film as well. Like,
I love Dawn's.
Yeah, Dawn's story about, she's a real estate agent that's got about 10 million side hustles going on to try and keep her head afloat.
And her llamas.
Yeah, and her llamas.
Or is it alpacas or llamas?
Maybe they were alpaca, actually, yeah.
They're so cute.
And that kind of brings her into contact with the younger characters who have moved to this town, this dreary town that's only really got, what was it? It was a cracker factory or something, wasn't it? I forget.
I don't remember.
I forget what it was.
It was a factory.
Yeah, it was a factory. That's basically the only thing keeping people employed. The young girl's got a job as their social media manager, and her job is to get 75 likes and followers in a month or whatever it was. And I was like, that's easy.
Well, speak for yourself.
I mean, if it's your job full time to work on, that's easily done. But the thing is that she and her younger brother are kind of outsiders, because Henry, the boy, is very creative, very smart, but he doesn't really fit in with anyone. In his first day at school, he tries to build a working jetpack, which some of the other boys sabotage.
Yeah.
And then it crashes into the factory, knocking down... I forget what it was. It was like a statue or something, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. The head of a statue, knocking it down, making him a bit of a pariah in the town, and they've only been there for a day.
Yeah.
So you can see why he would be interested in running off to the fantastical world as well.
Yeah. and it still kept a lot of the Minecraft stuff in there. Like there's some, like, obviously if you've played Minecraft, you'll know about like the trunk full of wheat, like the chest full of wheat, or full of this or that, and the dog. Oh, the dog.
Yes.
We've all had a dog like that in Minecraft, and if you haven't, I'm sorry. It's a great feeling befriending a dog in Minecraft. And if something happens to the dog, oh, it breaks your heart. But I think the dog was one of the main stars of the movie, because this dog goes on this amazing adventure in the real world. And it's so lovely because it was a dog. It wasn't a video game dog. I mean, it was a CGI dog. But Luke's just looking up the name.
Yeah, it was Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis.
Of course it was Dennis.
Yes. That's a great name, by the way.
Oh, yeah, Doc.
Yeah. So Dennis is this, CGI dog that's going all around, but it's literally having a dog life in the real world.
The funny thing is, it looks like a Minecraft character as well, because it's all squared off, but nobody notices.
Yeah.
Nobody comments on it in the real world. They just say,
like
it's a dog. Oh, yeah. And the villager that wanders into the world.
We have to talk about Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, I love her so much. So I first saw, just like a lot of people my age, I first saw Jennifer Coolidge in Legally Blonde. Although that's not my favorite movie, or a movie that I would typically watch, I go the 2 or 3 times that I've actually watched it, because it's been on like in the bedroom or something, like in somebody's room, it's because of Jennifer Coolidge. Like the bend and snap. She's just phenomenal. And I want to watch White Lotus just because she's in it. And that's all. Like, honestly, I don't know anything about that show.
Yes.
But I do know that she's in it, and she's just so damn wonderful. She's not just one character. Jennifer Coolidge plays different versions of Jennifer Coolidge, and I freaking love it.
Yeah, so in this film, she is the vice principal of the school that Henry goes to.
Yeah, principal or vice principal, I don't know.
Yeah, and she is, she's recently divorced, as she likes to remind everybody. And she ends up hitting one of the villagers with her car, running him over. And to make it up to him, she takes him out to dinner. And anyone that knows Minecraft villagers, they don't really speak. They just go.
That's how I speak to you sometimes, because I'm just like, and we get it.
But she ends up falling in love. I should say they end up falling in love, and one of the jokes in the movie is that the villager learns to speak.
The voice.
Yeah, and it's Matt Berry's voice.
Yeah. I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't know how popular he is in the States, but over here, he's one of the sweethearts of TV.
I think I can say that he is the English Jack Black.
You know what? I can see that.
Yeah.
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 You've seen him in person before, haven't you?
I have. He has a club in Soho, and my work office is near. Well, it's in Soho, and I've seen him walking around before. Talking very loudly on his mobile phone, dressed exactly as the way his characters do, in that like a smart suit with cowboy boots and an open shirt. Does he have
the streak in his hair?
No.
Oh, okay, so that's just for...
That's for Toast of London, yeah. But yes.
I think I say that because I found the longest great hair in my hair I've ever found last night, and I'm still thinking about it.
I try not to think about all of my grey hairs, because it's like 60% grey now.
So, how many times can I actually say I love this movie?
At least 3.
So let's talk about some of the characters that are actually in Minecraft, or some of the things that you see in Minecraft. Like, you see what every kid flipped out about, like in the best way possible, and I think Jack Black had to tell him to not do it. I think that's what the story is. Chicken jockey. Yeah,
so it's become a bit of a meme now, so that when the chicken jockey appears on screen, the viewers are supposed to throw their popcorn in the air and scream, kick chicken jockey. Apparently at one screening someone bought a live chicken and then released it during that scene, which, I mean, I can't imagine a chicken particularly enjoying being sat in a loud, dark cinema.
No. I would not know.
But at a recent screening in LA, Jack Black came out on microphone and just asked the audience. I say asked, really, it was just him kind of being turned up to 11, but just telling them to sit down, watch the movie, enjoy it. Don't make a mess.
I'd listen
Be
to
cool.
him.
And then he pranced around, couldn't find the way out of the cinema, ended up having to go back on the way.
Can you actually watch it?
Yeah.
I've not watched it.
I saw the clip of it. He tried to leave through one way and he's like, I'm going to have to go back the way I came.
Can I be honest about Jack Black? Can we just be 100? I like Jack Black. I do. But Jack Black reminds me of how I feel when I'm around people I don't know. And that's not a bad thing. I love the fact that he is he seems like a lovely person. He really does. And he seems like he cares and everything. But I fear that if I got into a room with him, he would bring that side out of me. And somehow, some way, there would be a sonic boom of Mary and Jack. And the world just would not be able to handle it.
Yeah, I mean, so Jack Black is usually... he's got a style, hasn't he? It's very turned up to 11. I think I said earlier.
Mm-hmm. But in not a really weird way. It's a funny way to most people, and also I think it's true to himself.
Yes, yeah, but it's very draining. In most movies, he kind of peppers it throughout the film. He doesn't do it constantly. Mm-hmm. But in this movie, he is constantly turned up to 11. There's just like no subtlety. And I'm not saying that in a bad way.
He read the room and he showed up for the assignment and he got a 100 on it.
Yeah, he did.
Whereas if he was in, say, Oppenheimer...
Oh, can you imagine?
Could you imagine me in Oppenheimer? I'd be like, is there like some powder foundation somewhere that I can like...
He has done serious roles.
Yeah.
Like he was in Peter Jackson's King Kong back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember him being particularly loud and boisterous.
No, he was really good in that.
Yeah, so maybe that was his one serious role, and now he's like, from now on, I'm just going to shout every line.
Was he in High Fidelity?
I don't recall. I
don't think so. I don't know why I think of him and being in High Fidelity. I'm actually going to just look at the IMDb.
Okay, so it's my time to entertain people with words coming out of my mouth. Can you tell I'm stalling for time?
What year did High Fidelity come out?
I don't know. Was it in the 90s?
Yeah. 90s, early... he was in Biodome.
Okay, he was in The Cable Guy. He was in Mars Attacks. I don't remember him in Mars Attacks. Doesn't mean he wasn't in it, just means I don't remember it. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I've never actually seen that one, so there we go.
Well, I guess he wasn't in High Fidelity. I probably saw a movie with him in it at the same time that I saw High Fidelity, for the first time. So that's probably why I associate. But he's been in a lot of movies that are not just comedies.
He was in The X-Files, apparently. I don't remember that episode either.
And then, obviously, he has his, Tenacious D, which, in my time, I didn't actually listen to Tenacious D very much. I listened to it whenever it would come on, like, the TV or something. I think my brother liked them. But, I'm not kidding. Like, most of the people at my school were just, like, stoked to hear Jack Black doing his singing, and actually know that he's got more talent than just acting and being funny. He can actually like rock out, which is pretty cool. Jason Momoa.
He was playing a parody of himself, which is very good.
I'm a fan of Jason Momoa because I like Aquaman, and also I like some of the ethics that he holds, and this movie kind of shows that he can be a part of the joke, and even if other people don't get the joke, they'll still find it funny. And I like that about him. But I also like the fact that... Can we talk about his hair?
May.
Obviously, it's a wig. Well, I'm assuming it was a wig. I think I've had that haircut before. Any kid that's come out of the 80s had a mother that made them have that haircut.
I never did.
Well, American anyway, because of like the glam rock and stuff like that. It's like, wow, I love it. I kind of want to get it again, but, you know, yeah. My watch is telling me, like, girl, don't do it. That last time you got bangs, don't do it. Jason Momoa did a fantastic job. He was funny. He got serious. Oh my God, the physical comedy between him and Jack Black. They have to do something else together. They literally have to become best friends. That's just what I feel, because the physical comedy in this was funny. There's a scene where they're like flying, right?
Yeah.
And then both of their feet are at like each other's face. And it just, if there's any scene in this movie to actually watch, to have a good laugh at, it's that one, I would say. Because it's just funny, and it's not too perverse.
No, it's not perverse at all.
Yeah.
It's I think that the dynamic between the two was quite funny in this, and that it was kind of, it defied expectations a little bit. They were inverted. So Jack Black was the strong, confident, capable one.
Yeah.
Whereas Jason Momoa was the confident one that was incompetent. Mm-hmm. And the humour came about from him doing like his usual, I'm going to kick these guys' ass. And then just failing completely. Like there's a scene where they're getting chased by zombies at night, and he's just shrieking and hollering, and he falls in a hole.
Oh my God, I love that screech that he does.
Yeah, very high pitched. That's where the comedy comes from.
A few times in the movie. So I'm not going to talk about the kiddos very much, because I don't want to.
Well, I've not seen them in much.
Yeah. But I will say this about both of them. Obviously, the lovely lady that played the big sister, I think she's over 18.
We've seen her in something before, and I can't remember what it is.
I'm just trying to find that out, actually. Yeah. But they were great. They were really great. And it wasn't as if... Sometimes you see, like, a kid actor that has been on one or two things, and then they kind of seem full of themselves a little bit. These two people were not. They were just perfect.
Yeah.
And Luke, you want to tell what you just saw?
Yeah, we saw her in Wednesday. Yeah. That's where I know her from.
She was the roommate, wasn't she?
She was.
Yeah, she was so good. But I really liked how the casting director of this just strike. Like all pins down, perfect. And they all worked really well together, because there are points in this movie where each of them, it's like there's like mini movies, like I said before, and they each like bring out something in each other. And I tell you what, that is what makes some of the best movies. Yeah. Some of the best movies. Obviously, I don't think this is one of the best movies, but I do like it, and it was really great to feel good at the end of that.
Mm-hmm. So, what did you make of the threat of the movie? I've forgotten the pig witch's name.
Yeah,
and her backstory.
I don't know. I'm glad it wasn't too dark and dreary.
Yes, and again, it had a positive message in it, didn't it? Because they flash back to her childhood where she just wanted to sing and dance and was forced to mine for gold and became very bitter and resentful.
Yeah.
Again, it's a story that kind of parallels with Jack Black and Jason Momoa's characters.
What is the...
Is it Rachel House?
Yeah.
Yes. We've seen her in a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
But
you've heard her voice before.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, she's in... Yeah. Who was she in What If?
I don't know, I've not seen that.
Topaz. Oh, I don't know who Topaz is off the top of my head. But she was also in Godzilla versus Kong, The New Empire, which we definitely saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say the threat of the pigs isn't really that.
Piglins.
Well, it's not really that serious, considering they can't survive in sunlight. Now, they did have a potion that allowed them to, but surely it'd run out eventually.
By the way, the whole thing of the movie, the threat of the movie is that this, Netherworld pig is going to hurt Dennis.
Well, yeah, she wants to take over the overworld, doesn't she, so that they can mine for gold there. And she claims to have Dennis and will torture him unless Jack Black
only
does
has
what
his
she
tag.
does. Well, yeah, they don't have him because Dennis has gone. Mm-hmm. He's gone to the real world to secure the what do they call it? The orb.
Yeah.
The square orb.
Something like that.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much. A square orb, so a box.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that you guys, if you made it this far, I'm glad that you've listened to this probably confusing retelling of a Minecraft movie.
Meandering. It's like having a chat with your granddad. I saw this movie once a couple of weeks ago, and this is what I remember happened.
And it's also just of me just loving Danielle Brooks. Like, I'll watch anything with her in it, really. Should we get to the comments?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so these were the comments on the last episode where we talked about the late, great Marlon Brando.
Woo!
Yes, and the first comment is from perennial... I can't think of another word right now, but it's Big Mikey P, Michael Andre Parlon, who is basically writing another novel. So let's just get straight to it, shall we? You know, Caesar sounds properly like Kaiser. Does it really? Alas, rare is the Marlon Brando movie that changeth me lots. Changeth.
That's a good one.
Mine were the years of Star Wars episodes 4 through 6, Die Hard, Predator, The Princess Bride, The Lion King, Ghostbusters, The Blues Brothers, Groundhog Day, The Naked Gun, and Hot Shots Part 2. Ha! Figured Jared Leto would be used as the linchpin of wrong method acting. Last Tango in Paris. Think I have that movie on my bucket list. However, was kind of expecting the Before Sunrise trilogy or The Longest Day / Paris is Burning companion films. So, the Country Matters word? Oh, wait, it's the one with the butter scene. Sorry, I'm having second thoughts. Yes, it does have the infamous butter scene. But there is a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, there's that... Not one of my favorite parts of the movie. Gotta be honest with you.
No.
But, yeah, I think it's more of the human of it all.
If there's a great movie hurt by recent controversies, there's Studio Ghibli's Princess Mononoke, on the superlative English dub written by someone simply named Neil. Yes, on a related note, Sandman is finishing up on Netflix, and I think it's only 6 episodes, which is a shame. Neil Gaiman. Yeah.
I haven't looked into him very much, but I've heard.
Do not. Very disappointing.
It's my mind is far too demonic to listen to that. Ugh.
I don't know. Marlon Brando's imperfect, but he's far from being Jimmy Savile or Joan Crawford or maybe John Lennon. Well, I suppose it's all relative, isn't it? 27 minutes and 9 seconds of full circle revolution in actor form. To me, Brando's non-acceptance speech is an utter failure now deemed as shallow, if not ineffective, vanity. No real big reforms and irreversible perspective change happened after all. If anything, I'd rather prefer the historical legacy of the World War I Harlem Hellfighters and the World War II Tuskegee Airmen when it comes to ultimately successful reform movements. Also beats the hypocritical Black Panthers and the Black Lives Matter movements then and now, so fight me on that opinion. Don't test me, Big Mikey P. Do not test me. No, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't agree, but you are entitled to your opinion.
I think the Black Lives Matter movement in our time is so different. Not saying that it's good or bad about the Black Panthers, because they each taught us something about sticking up for what is right. And I think it's important for someone like me to say that anyway. Because it's true. I learned so much, and I continue to learn because of the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's a learn that I am open to continue to do.
Sorry, I've lost my place in the comment. Overall, Mary, didn't lose track on you. I'm the one who'd rather trudge through the Canterbury Tales and the Aeneid than leave them unfinished, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Sayonara came out in 1957, and Miyoshi Umeki, also known as from Flower Drum Song, played the character Katsumi alongside Brando's Ace. Miyoshi became the first East Asian woman to win an Oscar. 5-hour movie? Geez, just turn it into a mini-series instead, and the more recent Horizon never caught on for a reason. Can agree with Luke, Kathy Duquesne can be as easily forgotten Batwoman. Also, Kate Kane from the Wayne Family Adventures is one cool aunt figure. Can at least agree with Mary, the animated Snow White film, though a classic, is not as good as Mulan, The Princess and the Frog, Tangled, and even Brave. Good thing Beyond the Spider-Verse got a recent 2027 release announcement, thank the fates. No, Mary, I don't see the Doremi and Strawberry Shortcake resemblance. Never got into the latter lots. I was probably more into, Care Bears instead.
I wasn't into Strawberry Shortcake. My best friend at the time, like when I was younger, really liked Strawberry Shortcake. I knew of her. I say my best friend. She was my first friend at age 14. And she was the one who... and Rainbow Bright. Is that what that one's name is? Rainbow Bright?
I don't
Blonde
know.
hair and the space suit looking thing.
Well, Mary, I recommend Alien, not the director's cut though. Alien Special Edition and Alien 3 Assembly Cut. If you're able, there's also the video game integral Alien Isolation and Alien Engineers script.
That.
Did you play Alien Isolation?
I did, just for a little bit. I played it because you got it, and then I was in the control room. And then I am not the best at jump scares. I don't mind like horror movies and stuff like that. I just don't like jump scares. And I didn't have a jump scare, but I was waiting for it. And that the anticipation was like, no thank you. I think I played it for about 20 minutes.
Alas, Peter David's novelisation of the former is niche, so an audiobook for it would be doubtful. Also, I'm not that into audiobooks myself. Waste of batteries and just don't have the paper feel and scent. Then again, I do not mind radio dramas and the Exploring series vids about SCPs and Lovecraft.
I won't tell you about my Kindle.
The Guardians of the Galaxy game is real good, but I would have preferred its creators to have instead finished Adam Jensen's Deus Ex saga before they got embraced. People like Wish... They must be demons. Oh, wait, I'm referring to Tumblr, funnily enough. And I am actually a Tumblr user myself, just not too active with making my own posts lately. Rachel Zegler's still on the wrong side of history. Oh, excuse me, still on a wrong side of history, not the wrong side. That goes to the traitor, Tariffy, President and Co. But a wrong side regardless.
Tariffy.
Yeah.
I think it was... I probably saw it on TikTok. It's this lady comedian, if you will. She was talking about like she would play China and then she would play America, and then every time China said something, they would just be like tariffs, and then the person she was obviously playing China, they just said, "You'll see," and I'm like, yes, you go China, yes, we love China.
Just to finish Big Mikey P's comment, he says, hope to reach a prestigious position of benevolent power, so to confiscate and destroy 95% of the brain-rotting muck? No. Pity we think differently. 5% will be preserved for historical museum purposes, though I'm surprisingly kind that way. With Minecraft in mind, hope Luke and Mary may want to be shown the rabbit hole that is Alan Becker and his animator versus animation saga.
We did not.
No.
We did not, but we could one day.
And moving on to the next comment.
I just found out who Notch was, by the way, didn't I?
Yes, you did, even though his name's been on the screen for years.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we know who he is now, because there for a while we had no idea. Well, Minecraft players, I guess, didn't know.
All right, so the next comment then is from Doc Widener, who says, thank goodness you're here. So, is the sarcasm about it being sunny or being happy about sunshine? Me, sarcastic, I've never known such nonsense, he said. It has been rainy here for most of the past week. Yay, Mia's marriage origin story. In a perfect world, I would be able to stay in today since poor Daniel has been sounding like a TB ward.
Oh.
Unfortunately, in this world, I need to pick up a prescription for the missus. I also need to get some refrigerant for this minivan AC. And I need to swing by his 4-H meeting to drop off a chest for dues. Then I really need to knock out our taxes that I wanted to get done a month ago but was dealing with the brain fog. Being Sunday, the pharmacy doesn't open until 11, so I can't get up and knock this stuff out early. On the plus side, I can lie in bed and listen to you guys. At least until Daniel wanted a grilled cheese. I made him pancakes yesterday.
I kind of want a grilled cheese.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But I don't eat bread anymore, so...
I enjoyed Brando in his films over the years. I may have mentioned that before, but growing up we didn't have air conditioning at home, so in the summer my folks, often just my mother and I, would go to the Ohio Theatre in downtown Columbus for the CAPA, Columbus Association of the Performing Arts Summer Movie Series.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I still catch a few films a year with the boys, but Mom and I saw almost every movie every summer. It has varied a bit over the years. Sometimes a big movie would play Saturday and Sunday, but for the most part there were different movies on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. They have added Friday nights now. They have annoying started considering movies like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Field of Dreams, Rain Man and 16 Candles classic movies. Yes, in the 70s and 80s when I went with Mum, something like Gone with the Wind would have been 40 years old, so yes, Return of the Jedi turned 40 a couple of years back. But it makes me feel old, so it doesn't count as a classic.
Same.
So, long ramble short, the summer movie series was my TCM and my intro to Brando. Last Tango in Paris didn't make it here, perhaps unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
But things like On the Waterfront, Streetcar, etc. did, and that irritating habit of making movies from my youth classics, The Godfather played a few years back.
I like The Godfather.
Mm-hmm. And aside to things from the 80s being classics and great actors, was sad to lose a Batman this week in Val Kilmer. Though I think my favourite film with him was Real Genius, which was never a big hit and not sure reached cult film status, but just hit home with me. As for Brando, I am with Mary. It is difficult in a limited window to try to explain someone who is very complicated and at times contradictory. You need to take a page from Quentin and do a 42-hour video on him. Jeez. It is funny. Heavy spoilers did a Superman retrospective that came out right after you mentioned Brando was going to be the topic. In it, Paul had a video clip of an interview with Christopher Reeve, who was clearly annoyed with Brando just showing up for the paycheck and feeling Brando did not put the effort into the role that Reeve thought he should have. Speaking of really long videos, did that tip work out? Was Quentin interested in Luke's voice acting? Yes, but I didn't feel comfortable doing a West Country accent, which is what he wanted, because I'm from the Southeast. So didn't go any further with it. Never mind, I just got to that in the comments. Sounds like it was a bad interaction. No, it wasn't a bad interaction at all. It wasn't bad at all.
Luke just doesn't... Can I say this without sounding mean? His West Country accent, it's not it.
You don't even know what a West Country accent is.
No, but I've heard you, because it's kind of like what your grandfather would sound
No,
like.
He was from the East.
Oh, I liked his accent a lot. I thought you were saying something like that.
No.
My bad, but I'm sure it's not great. You should hear his Oklahoman accent.
I don't do an Oklahoman accent.
He does this, like, yow, something.
I'm working my way through his April 1st video, but it's 42 hours. Yeah, no.
Is it really 42 hours?
Apparently. I have a copy of last year's that was 38 hours, and a lot of it is the same. Unfortunately, I looked at the 30-ish hour mark on both videos, and it's clear some of what he added is somewhat in the middle. I was hoping it would include Luke, but it won't. If you get a moment, there's a comment Jed Clampant makes around 2 hours and 17 minutes in the video where they think he might be an ancestor of the first person off the boat at Jamestown. Cousin Pearl basically tells him he would be more accepted in high society because the longer your kinfolk have been here, the higher up you are. Jed reckons that would put Native Americans, he uses a word more used at the time the show was made, at the top of high society, but Pearl says no, that's not how it works. When Jed asks why, Pearl says he shouldn't worry about it, but just play by the current rules and enjoy the game. This is quite a statement from an early 60s sitcom, especially the number one rated show in the country. They touch on issues with Native Americans a few times across the show, and it is much more enlightened than I would have thought. Almost 10 hours through the current version and downloaded it in case it gets struck. It's still up for now. Help the Severance Season 2 is done, and Daredevil is the only current series I'm watching, which now that that's finished, I need to catch up on it. Maybe if I can finish 2 videos today, then I will be able to tonight.
I'm just going to go on my walking pad and watch Grey's Anatomy.
In news that may or may not get this vanished, I was pleased to see here in the country seat of the Ruby Red County I live in that a couple of hundred folks showed up at the signs along Main Street as part of the broader protest yesterday, and that there was lots of honking in support because this is a town that had a truck flag parade back in 2020 supporting the guy. I saw it on the way to Mass and was going early for penance. Among my sins, confessed for Schadenfreude, which I've been trying to do better about, but seeing voters get what they voted for but didn't think it would impact them, it's hard not to take joy in their suffering.
Yeah.
Well, right, I know. There's only so many times you can say, I told you so.
Yeah, and I think it is being plastered all over the news, and the younger generation that did vote for a piece of fruit to be a president are now learning a hard lesson. And, you know, you don't need to vote for somebody that was just on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And you can vote for the things that you like, you know. Well,
they've been missold. They were told that populism was the answer to their problems, and it isn't.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it hasn't been a popular movement in a long time. But anyway,
I would rather pay more for my eggs than to have trans people not be able to live the life that they deserve.
Or, you know, just random citizens being sent off to a foreign country because they're accused of being a gang member.
I'd pay £20 for eggs, or $20 just for that.
I just wouldn't eat eggs.
Yeah, but yeah.
Anyway, let's continue the comments. So getting better at tamping that down as it gets more and more common, and realising it isn't productive in changing hearts and minds. No one likes I told you so. Yeah, it's true. But man, do I have to bite my tongue sometimes. Oh, you didn't think that Liberation Day meant your retirement funds would be liberated from you.
That's right.
While I want to say it doesn't help anyone else. I'm glad to hear Lowell Lucas Jr. is doing better. That was written all in uppercase, so it's Lowell Lucas Jr.
I was so happy to hear that as well, because obviously you guys are my friends, and I was like on edge waiting for it to like, you need to get better.
I only heard the pop socket right after you said it in a quiet moment, but it was not distracting. So there you go. Maybe you've got to try harder. Maybe hitting the keyboard like that.
Oh, sorry. I have kept my phone in a different room so I don't play with the pop socket.
It's right here.
I thought I left it in there. My bad.
No.
But I thought I had left it in the desk in the living room.
No.
Because I knew that I would be messing with something, and at the moment I'm using my jewelry cleaning brush, which is a tiny little brush that you won't be able to hear it. So, yeah.
The boys went to the Minecraft movie and really enjoyed it. I wrote this before you mentioned it at the end, so I went back to edit this part of the comment. Mild Schadenfreude creeps in here as Sergey realised he's getting older because he has played Minecraft for longer than his brother, who is 13, has been alive. Yes. So from time to time he'll make a comment like that and then turn to me and ask if this is what it feels like to be old like me. And the answer is yes. Alien and Alien seem like films Mary might enjoy. If for nothing else, then she would really like Ripley. Saw a screener of Alien 3 back in the day with alternate endings. It suffered from too many cooks in the kitchen and being pulled in multiple directions. I enjoyed Prometheus and even Covenant. I thought that they had some interesting ideas, even if they were flawed in some ways. Have not seen Romulus yet.
Apparently it's really good. Your sister says it's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was supposed to be Mind the Gap, which is used a lot in Fallout London. Yeah, that's what they say on the trains when you pull up at the station. Say, Mind the Gap.
It's literally on every train at the tube. Like, you look down and it says Mind the Gap. Yeah,
and the intercom voiceover thingy says it as well.
Seriously, I've lived over here for over 15 years now, and I still get excited to hear that.
Don Juan DeMarco was near the end of the 80s-19 era of film music I mentioned a while back, where you would get cross-promotion with a hopefully original hit song to help drive some folks to the theatre and sell some albums, cassettes or CDs. I think of Don Juan DeMarco having the last of the Bryan Adams trilogy, though I imagine there are more of his songs used in the film. 1991, Prince of Thieves, Everything I Do for You. 1993, Three Musketeers, All for Love, with Rod Stewart and Sting.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the synergy of the pitch meeting, Three Musketeers, Three Singers, genius. Would have only been better if it was a third of these movies, but you can't have everything. Don Juan de Marco in 1994, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? That last had really great Spanish guitar, and while it's clearly Bryan Adams, his voice is pretty distinctive. The general sound of the song is different than anything else of his up to that point. Well, with all the pauses to write comments, I can now head out to do my errands. As such, I enjoyed our Sunday brunch together.
Oh, we enjoy you too.
Well, there was food? I haven't had any food.
I know, I was just thinking, like, I had cheese and sliced chicken. And it was delicious, and I kind of want to go have. I kind of want to go have some more.
Yeah, well, it's lunchtime here now, anyway.
Yeah.
So next we have David Carney, who says, "Hi, Mary and Luke. Definitely don't have a favourite actor, but I do have a favourite director, like John Carpenter, Wes Craven, and John Hughes, among others. I've seen Superman the movie. Never finished watching The Godfather. Got about halfway through it. Someday I will finish the film. Have a good week, both of you. Yeah. You too, David.
I hope you like it too, because it's one of those movies where if you don't know that you're going to be in for a long journey, you might have to take a break. And that's okay. Because it is quite, when I say long movie, I'm not necessarily, it is a long movie in terms of time, but what I'm talking about is like the journey of the first Godfather is long. I mean, it's from one continent to another, you know? That was a funny joke to me.
I'm sure the listeners are laughing.
They're like, why?
Okay, so let's move on to the next comment from A1ML33Y, which is Julia Rowell, who says, "Hello, true believers, Mary Jane Watson and Luke Wilson." I don't know why I feel like saying ouch when you say that, but...
Did I tell them that my original name was supposed to be Mary Jane?
You didn't know.
Okay, so the story that I was told by my grandmother, which is good, is my mom wanted to name me Mary Jane for some specific reasons I can't talk about on YouTube. But my grandma is the one that like filled out the paperwork. And her name is Susan, so it ended up being Mary Susan instead of Mary Jane because my grandmother was not having me be Mary Jane. That's the story. That's the story.
Commit it to memory, there will be a test.
Yeah. Pop quiz.
It is I, your humble guide, Julia the Watcher, as I want to say Marlon Brando was in a few of my favourite movies. Like, for example, I really like his role as crazy Colonel Kurtz in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Co-starring Martin Sheen and Dennis Hopper being extra crazy as a wartime photographer. Like, did you know that if is the middle word in life? That's a Dennis Hopper quote there. I like the way Dennis Hopper's character talked about Brando's character in both in a fear and deranged / warped respect. But I like the audio logs they did with his character talking about chopping off infected arms and how that changed him into going rogue against the government and then calling Martin Sheen's character an errand boy going to collect a check and trying to kill him near the end of the movie. Lovely use of the Doors music in the film. Yes, it was.
Oh, I think that's one of the... I've always loved the Doors, as Luke knows, but the way that they used it made me fall in love with them even more.
I also really like Brando in The Island of Dr. Moreau. I think you're one of the few people to say that. I like that movie well enough as well.
Next question.
And I liked how Val Kilmer played Montgomery, who was a very laid-back character until the end of the movie where he did an impression of Marlon Brando after Dr. Moreau died in the middle half of the movie. I remember enjoying all the performances in that movie, like... Fairuza Balk, is it?
Mm-hmm.
From The Craft, and Ron Perlman as the lawgiver. It's a weird movie that got me watching the 70s adaptation starring Michael York and Burt Lancaster. So in a way, because of Brando, I got into Marvel characters like the High Evolutionary because of Dr. Moreau. I also mostly know Brando as Jor-El in the Superman movies. And who's the Godfather? Oh, and who is the Godfather? Stuck in my mind the most beautiful of how he played these powerful, rested figures. I know that Val Kilmer learned how to be a jerk on the set of Island Dr. Moreau to hold up the film production. For more money, being difficult on set, I always found Brando to be an eccentric character as a person, both in his later films like Dr. Moreau, The Godfather, and Apocalypse Now. Hey, Luke Wilson, I have a question. Was there a Western with Brando and Charlton Heston, and was he ever in a movie with Eartha Kitt, my favourite Catwoman? Just wondering. Well, unfortunately, Luke Wilson isn't here to answer this question, but I think I can provide an answer. He was not in a movie with Charlton Heston.
Or Eartha Kitt. Which
no.
is a shame. I love Eartha Kitt. Charlton Heston, next question. But Eartha Kitt, oh my god. I could... C'est bon. If you know, you know.
We know. Well, I know. So, continuing the comment, it's sweet how Last Tango in Paris brought you two lovebirds together and how Marlon Brando changed your life. Mary, that's cool, and I find it interesting that there's a JoJo Liz Adventure character named Dio Brando. For me, a person who was an important person in my life is adult film actress Belladonna for her out loud but in queerness is inspiring. Also, Sasha Grey and the brilliant 80s singer Tina Turner, who I love from Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. Thunderdome, excuse me. She was such a badass. She ran Bartertown, I think. Also, Cuba. Shakespearean actor Raul Julia from Addams Family and Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I love that man's energy in all of his movies. Yes. Wonderful.
Perfection.
Funnily enough, yesterday I saw a clip from Street Fighter on my feed with him talking about the day that your village was visited by M. Bison was the most significant day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. He had no memory of destroying that woman's life. I believe it was Chun-Li. Because he did it so much. Reminds me of Blight in Batman Beyond, where Batman says, you know, I'll never stop coming after you. You killed my father. And he says, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Some great people you named there, by the way.
Yes. Anyways, I hope this gives you a better insight into the type of person I am. I also hope Big Mikey P doesn't think it's an asshole who hates everything. Ba-boom. Until next time, true believers, and Excelsior.
I don't think anybody would think anything other than cool when they think of you.
No, I mean, you just listed a bunch of stuff that you really like, so that's cool. And I think we all need more positive energy in the world, rather than focusing on the stuff that makes us mad and, you know, things that irritate us that we don't like. Just talk about the stuff that's cool.
I have this thing, I was talking to my therapist about it. I think it was before Christmas. I have this thing where I enjoy other people's happiness. I don't know what, there's a name for it. But sometimes, because I'm seeing their happiness, I forget about my own. But it's different with you all, because I care about how happy you guys are, but also you guys you make me happy, so I don't need to think about that. Does that make any sense, or did I just like word vomit everywhere?
Makes sense.
Okay. Because my therapist says sometimes like really cool, like mind-blowing stuff, and I'm like, I want to do those things. I really do, but the ADHD in me is also thinking that I really want an apple, and I hope the apple isn't rotten on the inside.
It's your inner Jack Black.
Yeah. He's not that much older than me, is he?
I think so.
Or is he like 50?
I believe so.
Oh, he's still quite young.
All right, so let's move on to the next comment. So that's RJ Productions, who formerly known as Harry Flew TV, who says, hey guys, how are you doing? Your podcasts always cheer me up. Admittedly, I've been dealing with some personal issues. Won't go into detail, but let's just say that I've been having lots of anger build up inside due to stress and anxiety, and it's reached its boiling point. I don't really want to get that angry again. Me and my family are all dealing with it, and I'm slowly getting better on top of that. I've been really sick for the past couple of days. Hope you're doing well, and right now I'm just listening to your podcast while relaxing with a cup of tea and some jammy Dodgers.
I'm going to tell you something about me again. Because I don't like the fact that it sounds like somebody hasn't been like the coolest to you. I don't work in retail anymore, and I'm going to tell you why. Without saying names or anything. One of the last places that I worked, I can be an angry person, but it's a different type of angry. It's more of like I will just cry and cry and cry for months on end. But there is a person that would always call me little girl. And I had said to them, like, I'm, 30 something years old. I'm full grown woman, past the age of 13. I think, I'm a woman. And they did this on purpose. And then they started talking about me to other people that then really enjoyed gossip and all of that. And I found out that he just did not like me. And he would make me out to be this horrible person. And you know what? If that's who I am in his story, fine. But I got so angry that I made fun of him. Gotta be honest with you, I made fun of him. And I know he heard the joke that I made, and that made me more angry than anything, because I said I got down to that person's level. And that's what really angered me, to the point that I was still crying, but there were just there were just moments in my day-to-day life where I was just getting so angry that I would tweet the CEO of the company and tell them exactly what was going on. And I don't use Twitter anymore, by the way. And it got me so angry. And then it made me think, obviously months after I quit, because of, other things as well, but mainly because of this person. I can't continue to be angry at myself because I am not fitting into someone else's story that they want me to fit in. No matter if it's the way that I act, who I am, my background, or anything like that. I should not give a you-know-what about what they think, because my peace and my health, kinda, is the most important things to me. But that person made me so damn angry and spiteful that I got to this place in life that it took me a while to get out of it, and I'm still trying to get out of it, but it's not, we should just be thinking about our peace, our family's peace, and everything like that. So I get you. I wanted to tell you that story because I feel that way. Luke's like, I want to end the podcast now.
No, we've got one more comment.
Oh, nice. But yeah, obviously you don't have to get into it, but I wish for resolution in what's going on with you and peace, because I just want you to know that you're my friend, and your thing's probably a lot bigger than mine, just not getting along with somebody at work. But I just wanted to tell you a time that I was really angry.
Let's move on to the last comment then.
Big Mikey P hasn't commented.
Yeah, he did. He was the first comment. The one that took 6 hours to read.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's because I've been reading comments from other videos as well.
Yeah, so this comment is from Ryan Jones, who says, "Hello, Barbie Girl Mary and Grumpy Goddamn Batman Luke. Yeah. I'm glad that's starting to stick. Maybe I'll update my channel name, Grumpy Goddamn Batman Luke. Before this episode, I didn't know who Marlon Brando was, apart from being in Superman. It's good to know that even though he wasn't great, he did what to stand up for the little guy about the native woman at the Oscars. In the middle of this podcast, I did a quick Google search for her and watched it, and yeah, it was disrespectful that the actors booed at her, even though she was so polite.
Yeah.
Luke, I hate the word being cancelled. It is something that people use to excuse the bad behaviour, and that people that should be cancelled are horrible people. I don't understand sarcasm, and what is wrong with a sunny day? I love it when it's sunny outside. I don't know what Big Mikey P's talking about. The allegations against Phil Lord and Chris Miller are true. In an interview, not only did they admit it was true, but they didn't apologise for overworking the animators. They just said that they are proud of them, and that was that. I won't be watching the next episode of this podcast because I don't like Minecraft. I find it to be brain-right. Oh.
That's okay.
Well, then you won't have heard this response, so...
That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not everybody likes Minecraft. It's kind of like that Warhammer thing. There's a person that we know that likes Warhammer. That's
Henry Cavill.
We don't know Henry Cavill.
I know who Henry Cavill is.
We have somebody like in our family that likes Warhammer, and he's like sat there and painted the figures and everything like that, and I'm like, I want to like something like that, but my patience is already running thin enough.
Yeah, he tried Lego and then just completely ruined it with the Batman Gotham City skyline, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about the person. I was like, I don't think they like Lego.
You did.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I don't know who you're talking about, by the way. So
I'm trying to not think about the Lego thing. Is what I'm trying not to do, because I got like
PTSD.
Yeah,
Comeback.
I can't do another Lego thing unless it's the flowers. I do like the flowers.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that Arkham Asylum set isn't a BTAS Arkham Asylum set, because otherwise you're in trouble.
I don't do drugs.
But Lego drove you to it.
And I don't, well, I mean, caffeine and like obviously my prescriptions for, antidepressant stuff. But I could totally understand why somebody would want to for recreational reasons because of that. And oh God, it's just, I can't stop in my head. It's like, it feels like, in Deadpool Wolverine or Wolverine Deadpool, she puts her hand inside. That's what it feels like she's doing right now to my head.
Yes, Cassandra Nova puts her hand through people's heads and you can kind of see one of her fingers poking out of their nostril or coming out under their eye or their mouth or whatever. Yes, yeah. That's what it feels like.
I'd let her do that.
Would you?
Yeah.
Do you think it would be relaxing, have a brain massage from Cassandra Nova?
Not relaxing, I wouldn't say that. Maybe a little daunting.
Mm-hmm.
I'd let her do it.
Fair.
As long as she promised not to kill me.
So those are the end of the comments, Mary. So why don't we just wrap up?
Okay, so I am going... Actually, we already know what the next episode about, so we don't need to talk.
Do we?
Our next episode, a flip side, is going to be me watching something that deals with Star Wars that I haven't picked yet. Probably The Mandalorian, and then I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, watch the first episode of The Mandalorian, because it's got Pedro Pascal in it, so that's your way in.
His voice soothed me.
Mm-hmm. Is the next episode of Totally Schway out on May the 4th?
Yeah, it's on May the 4th.
It is?
I literally just looked at the calendar before we started.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Oh, I did write that down, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not able to keep track of what I've been doing.
Watch me absolutely love it. It just, want to watch all of The Mandalorian and then all of the other 65 other shows that are alongside it.
Do you know Matt Berry's in The Mandalorian as well?
I like Matt Berry.
I know. That's why I'm warning you. I don't think he's in the first episode, though.
It's like, I couldn't finish Picard.
I finished Picard.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
Did you get to see Whoopi?
Yes. I think.
More of Whoopi.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I'll watch her. Obviously, I'll watch anything with Pat Stu in it. Mm-hmm. Can we just do an episode about Patrick Stewart one day?
Maybe the one after next time.
No, I think I'm going to do... I don't know what I'm going to do. I have it written down somewhere. Yeah. So I really hope you guys are enjoying finer weather. The weather here in England's been really great recently. And it's improved my mood a tiny smidge. I'm getting a little annoyed with the sunshine. But that's okay. I have transitions in my glasses. I want to say how grateful I am for each and every one of you. Each of you matter to me, and I think it's important that I tell you because you're my friends, and it's really hard to come by people that get it. And even if we don't agree sometimes, we get the bigger picture. And I love you guys. Have a great day. And we will talk to you next time.